I'm borrowing your earrings. Lord, I'd love to get a facelift by 8 o'clock.
Blanche, who is Harry?
Oh, girls, he's just wonderful. He's very gallant. He's a perfect gentleman. He's a great dancer. And he doesn't make noises when he chews.
Chewing that.
Are you up for a night on the town with two handsome, eligible bachelors?
Oh, thanks for asking, but I don't think so. I'm not that interested in dating anymore.
Now, you know that's not true, honey, or you'd let your hair go natural.
You know what my problem really is? I'm spoiled. I had a long and wonderful marriage with the perfect buyer.
No, I couldn't sell my car to Rose. She's my friend. My great-granddaddy always used to say there are two things you never sell to a friend, a car and a slave. Because if either one of them quits working, you'll never hear the end of it. Of course, they hanged my great-granddaddy. He said a lot of things he shouldn't have. What do you give me for it? Oh, my God, I just want to die.
You're not a fool, Blanche. You're a beautiful, loving, trusting woman. There's no fool here, Blanche.
I guess maybe I'm hoping the shock will be too much for my heart and I'll just drop dead right here. And the minister can bury me with Mr. Pincus. He has truly been a father to everybody in our town.
Your mother must have been a very forgiving woman.
Well, I got a million things to do before Big Daddy gets here. I have to go pick up his favorite food and his jerk.
Thanks, Ma. Thanks. That really makes me feel a lot better.
Don't get smart with your mother. Listen, Dorothy, I love you dearly, but you're not the first woman to be dumped by her husband.
Oh, Ma, it's not what he did. I mean, I've learned to live with that. It's the way he did it. The least he could have done was...
A really neat knots.
Dorothy, guess who's here?
My date.
Your husband.
I don't have a husband. Call the police.
Your ex-husband.
I'll call the police.
Hi, everyone. It's me, Stan.
Dorothy. In the future, I would appreciate a little advance notice when you expect you're in a club.
Yeah, a bunch of us get together and send our pictures into Willard Scott with a note saying we're 100.
Ma, that's ridiculous.
You got a better way to get on the Today Show? Will you take it inside, Rose? This isn't the French Quarter.
Been back in college.
Dorothy, ears pinned back. What do you use, a big ear stapler?
Okay, so I made a few little slips. But I can keep a secret, Dorothy. I'll prove it to you. You tell me what you got for Sophia, and if I... Fior Jr. He didn't want to follow in his father's footsteps. He thought scum was beneath him.
You know, I just realized the best reason of all to join this walkathon.
What's that, Ma?
I'd get away from this ditz for a whole day.
That was a lovely lunch, Blanche. A lovely lunch in a lovely house with your lovely friends.
Stop making fun of me, Virginia.
Making fun of you, honey. I was complimenting you.
I heard the way you said lovely.
How did I say lovely?
Oh, you know very well how you said lovely. You said lovely the same...
But I think I'm too close. Did you have a poppy seed bagel for breakfast?
Will you put that thing down? What do you think you're doing?
Well, I'm making a video for my class at the junior college.
Oh, really? Gee, it sounds like fun.
Oh, I'm glad you think so, because I want you to be one of the stars.
Oh, Rose, I don't think so. No, you...
I cannot wait to see my sorority sisters, Scarlett, Melanie, and all the rest of the girls. It's going to be exactly like old times. Oh, well, maybe not just exactly. The other girls will all have grown old and wrinkled and saggy through the years, while I have remained unbelievably devastating.
Oh, to see his wife. I just loved her, and Father knows best.
Sophia, you're a little confused, honey. That was Jane Wyatt. The president was married to Jane Wyman.
That old crow from Falcon Crest?
Well, it doesn't matter. They're not married anymore. Now he's married to Nancy Davis.
From all... Get some help, Rose.
Blanche, that outfit sure is risque.
Thank you. Would you just check my class for me? Now, all I need are those earrings you borrowed from me last week.
Blanche, I'll put those earrings back in your room.
Oh, no, Rose, not again.
I know I didn't lose
Oh,
him, Blanche.
Rose, you all are around to change its diapers and clean up after it when it spits up and pees. I'd love to be a mother again.
Are you all sure you really want to do this?
Oh, look, I know it's going to be a lot of work, but, it'd be worth it to hear a baby's laugh around the house.
Oh, come on, let's do it.
What do you say, Ma?
What choice do I have if I say no?
The next thing I know, I'm in the Bahamas. I figured while I was there, I'd buy some perfume for you and your friends in the duty-free shop.
I'd keep an eye on this one, lady.
Oh, I just don't know how to thank you, officer, but I would like to try. I'm usually at Wally's for happy hour on Tuesdays.
Came up when you're in an upright position.
Dorothy, would you care to give an example of how Blanche is selfish?
All right, fine. Let's say about a month ago, I was not feeling very well. As a matter of fact, I was sick as a dog. We was...
Yeah. You know, it's really been interesting. I got hit, did chores, learned all about handicapped animals. All in all, it hasn't been half bad. And if it's all right with you, I wouldn't mind living here full time.
This, Ann. I haven't had this much off the spool since I measured the couch for slip covers.
Ma must have forgotten something.
Hi, Ma. Surprise.
Michael, what are you? You are going overboard. Now, I think you need to see someone.
Dorothy, I don't think a date is necessarily the answer.
I meant a psychiatrist, hot pants. Well, now, what do you say, Rose? Come on, honey, we'll all go. Ma, you are not dying.
I am, Dorothy. I had a dream last night, a death dream. Your father spoke to me.
Spoke to you? How?
Do I look like Rich Little? Just listen. I'm sitting in the living room, and the clock strikes 9. Then the bell rings. It's your father in his fedora. He always...
Rose, your father was a dairy farmer. You look for food in your freezer.
The psychiatrist didn't make me feel better. I feel better that you all feel better, but I don't feel any better.
Not even a little?
No. In fact, I feel worse.
Why worse?
He was my last hope.
I was talking to Edith's daughter after the funeral. She had flown in from San Francisco. She kept telling me how bad she felt that she hadn't seen her mother in over a year.
Well, it's hard to stay close to someone when they live clear across the country.
Yeah, well, I live in the same house with my mother, and yet we spend very little...
So hard to make it every day. And it's hard to say just how some things never change. And it's hard to find any strength to draw the line. Oh, I'm just burning, doing it, try them. I'm just burning, doing it.
Which sister is this, Rose?
My younger sister, Holly. Frankly, I'm not too happy about it. This is a terrible thing to say, but I don't really like her. We haven't gotten along since we were kids.
Obviously, we all need to lose a few pounds. And we might as well start right now. It's still 2 weeks until Phyllis's party.
Oh, but how?
We could try another health club.
Oh, no way, Rose. I'm sure you have...
Closet, I don't even know what to wear with the first night on the ship.
A life jacket and a great big smile.
I wonder what Rose is doing right now.
You mean you wonder if she's doing it right now?
No, I just wonder if maybe we didn't push her into something too fast.
As he spun her around, her dress ripping open. You know how many times I've experienced that?
Your loins have been on fire?
Yes.
Hey, terrific sex is better than nothing.
Here's to terrific sex. And the dumb blonde who's not gonna get any. am drained of what little holiday spirit I had.
Oh, it's too bad because we still have to shop for presents for each other.
Oh, now, wait a minute. Listen, I've been giving this a lot of thought. I mean, none of us wants to go shopping in this terrible heat. So why don't we just put names into a hat, and then we just have to pick out a gift for the one person whose name we pick?
Because of one little slip disc, Morty has not taken me to the barbecue.
What a shame. You'll miss the foot-stomping version of Sunrise Sunset.
You know, this kind of thing has been happening to me a lot lately, and I think it's because I'm going out with men who are too old for me. In the last year, my average day...
Miss Goldfine.
Ma, just because you don't like the woman doesn't mean that we have to embarrass ourselves in public.
This contest is my chance to put that old witch in her place once and for all. Not only am I a looker, but I have a daughter twice as beautiful as hers.
Oh, Ma, that's very sweet, but
And then I thought, wait, your sister Gloria's...
Sarcasm, Rose. That's like when I say you're so lucky to be a natural blonde.
Thank you.
Just forget it, Rose. I have a late date.
You can leave early. A promise is a promise. Now, look, we're all very fond of Miles. Besides, a little...
You've been dating him and he dumped you, and now you're getting even by telling me.
No, that's
I've heard this before. I can't tell you how many times.
You have?
You think you're the first? Please. The first time Al slept with someone else was on our honeymoon.
No.
In Paris.
Pack, we're leaving early. No, it's important. Mother, there's nothing to talk about.
Oh, yes, there is. And I should have done it a long time ago. Kirsten, your father wasn't who you thought he was.
I don't think it's necessary. That's right.
There's nothing sadder than your daughter losing it before you do.
Look, Ma, I'm not going to mail it. I just read somewhere that you can settle your feelings about someone even after they're gone. And there were a lot of things I never told Pop while he was alive. I never even got to say goodbye, so I'm getting all this stored up emotion out in a... What, Ma?
I always thought of us as the Gabors.
Well, I'm glad we had this little chat.
Hear me out. I'm Jolie, the mother. Your sister Gloria, she's Zsa Zsa. And Ava, well, Ava was, of course, your brother Phil. Rose is helping me make out an ironclad will.
Wait, you're using Rose as a lawyer?
I know what I'm doing. Every Thursday, I watch La La.
Good morning.
Ah, how was your date last night?
Oh, it's too soon to tell. I'll let you know when I send him home. Is this for Rose's birthday?
Now look, don't you start with me. Every Christmas, every birthday, anytime we have to give a gift to the same person in the hospital overnight.
That's it?
That's it.
Oh, what a relief.
So when you going to have the surgery?
Never.
Honey, you just now said yourself it's a very simple procedure.
Oh, it is for the doctor. But it happens to be my foot that he wants to cut open.
So you intend to limp around... I'm sorry, Sophia. I know how you go on about shoes.
Honey, we both know what's going to happen. I take you down to Shim Shack's, we walk in the door, and all the salesmen disappear. I have to go to the back of the store and bribe them to come out and help you.
Please, those people love me.
For $10, they love you.
Ask Dr. Ashton.
Listen, you know, I really don't think this operation is a good idea.
Oh, Mrs. Bornak, relax. You have nothing to worry about. It's a simple surgical procedure. I'm sure everything will be fine. Here, I'll leave these forms so you can look them over, and I'll see you in the morning when I get back from court.
Look, wait a minute. I want to hear.
Oh, well, it's a perfectly lovely jet, Richard, but there was really no need to fly all the way to Atlanta for dinner. I'm just an old-fashioned girl. I would have been very happy with a quiet dinner at home.
You would?
Absolutely.
I'll just tell the pilot to turn the plane around.
No, why?
Sorry, dear. To Blanche Devereaux, the most wonderful woman in the world.
Now, Richard, you stop that.
No, I mean it. And my kids agree with me. They're really crazy about you.
Richard, there's something I have to ask you.
I have something to ask you, too.
Okay, you first.
Me.
I can't make it by myself.
So I think the best thing for me to do is move back to Lily.
But we must cherish the things he left behind. His movies, his songs.
And its seasonings.
Give me that! No, this was a mistake.
What's going on?
Oh, Mr. Longfellow got him by mistake. He is not for sale. Isn't that right, Mr. Longfellow?
Yes, it is, Rose.
Ridiculous. The curse works, believe me. I've used it before.
When?
Baltimore Colts, New York Jets, 1969. Draw your own conclusion.
That's very touching, Rose. It shouldn't be, but it is.
You know, when I think of my father, I don't remember just one incident. I just know that he was always there to take care of me whenever I got into trouble, which was all the time. I just never dreamed that.
We'd go off chasing those rainbows together. But when the time finally came, all that was left was a big empty house and the headstone that marks her grave. And I decided that...
Oh, I see you two are getting acquainted.
Yes, I'm just going to take my stuff to my room. It's that second on the left down the hall there.
Dorothy, the second on the left is mine. Blanche had promised it to me.
Blanche promised it to me too, didn't you, Blanche?
Whoops.
Oh, great, great. What are we supposed to do now? Don't talk for the rest of the afternoon. Ma, perfectly normal people see psychiatrists. It's like talking to an old, knowledgeable, good friend.
Well, if that was the case, Dorothy, they wouldn't call them psychiatrists. They'd call them friends.
Now, Rose, they go.
No, the minks stay. They serve man, now we serve them.
Oh, come on.
Well, are you saying that just because they're too old to breed, they're useless? That they're no good for anything anymore?
The minks stay.
Right.
Come on, let's cook them a little something to eat.
Oh, my God.
Onyai Court, you remember. I ran 6 miles in the rain and the cold to bring you the cannoli you forgot to put in your lunchbox.
Ma, please.
Don't worry, I'll be all right. You all go schmooze with Bert and his Hollywood buddies. I'll just stay here and hack myself unconscious. Let's be the good sport. And set sail for America. 500 people, filled with hope, singing, laughing, drinking. Actually, only the Irish were drinking. But I digress. Of course, on the second day, things took a turn for the worse. For the next month and a half, the storm-tossed seas made all
Beautiful eulogies. And then, just as the minister was getting everybody in a frenzy of grieving, I rushed out and said, "Yoo-hoo, it's me, Blanche. I'm not really dead." Well, the next thing I knew, my daddy was horsewhipping that riverboat captain and dragging me off to a religious girls' school in Atlanta.
I just got very confused. I hope I didn't make you feel uncomfortable.
Well, I have to admit, I don't understand these kinds of feelings. But if I did understand, if I were, you know, like you...
I guess I wasn't thinking.
That's your problem, Michael. You go through life not thinking. You go from town to town, job to job, obviously, relationship to relationship. Michael, you're 29 years old. When are you going to grow up and accept some responsibility?
Look, I'm sorry about what happened. And I'm sorry...
Dorothy, what are you doing up so early?
Never mind that. It has been over a week. Now, what is that mutt still doing here?
I know I promised to take him back to the pound yesterday, but he wasn't feeling well. Frankly, Dorothy, I'm a little worried.
Don't worry, it was a hangover.
What?
Come again?
I wasn't going to say anything about this, Dorothy, but I won't be able to sleep until I do. I feel that you have backed me into a corner. And when I am backed into a corner, I come out fighting like a wildcat. Unless I've had too much to drink, in which case I slide.
For just a few moments.
If I may be so bold, the pantyhose are nice too. At least the hose part.
I can't tell you how happy I am to finally meet you, Isaac.
Why don't you two just run along and we'll catch up with you later?
Blanche.
Dorothy, don't you see that something is happening here?
Yes, it's the beginning of a disaster.
We don't see the same thing happened in my family once. My cousin Astrid...
All right. I'll tell you what happened. Picture it. New York City, Christmas, 1955. Francesca Ragusso's annual Christmas bash. Everyone is there, including the neighborhood heartthrob Salvador DeMilo. All the women adore
To see each other ever? Is this the way you want things left between you?
Wait a minute. Are you referring to Francesca Ragusso's Christmas party back in 55?
Yes, the one where you kissed my Carmine.
What? I never kissed Carmine. You never even kissed Carmine.
I remember it like it was yesterday.
Dorothy, he's still family. It's your fault he's family, but let's not dwell on that now. The Yutz could die.
Sophia's got a point. What am I going to do?
Stan, Ma's right. You're going to come here to recover. You can have my room. I'll move in with Ma till you're feeling better.
Sophia, Dorothy, you're the greatest. I want you to know you're the only woman in my life.
That's a sack of cold chestnuts, mister. Blanche. Don't you blanch me, you lowlife. You think if you just roll into this town and have your way with every woman you want?
There was someone else besides me.
Oh, yes, that was me and that was Rose.
And me!
You slept with the sheriff?
Lord, no. Maybe they won't come back at all. It happens.
Oh, Ma, don't be ridiculous. Now, come on. I think you're just overly tired. Why don't you go to bed?
Good idea. If that's Sports Illustrated, tell them to call back tomorrow.
Hello? Oh, yes. Because you look just a tad like my children. Or maybe it's because I still look like I'm 27. My, how those years did fly by. Seems like before I knew it, the children were cleaning out the attic to start their own places. And when I tried to be happy for them, I have to say I was sadder than I ever remember. Amen. Nice work, Dorothy.
Wasn't me.
Sweet Jesus, am I in trouble?
Gene, I was out of town, Lauderdale.
Oh, of course. I forgot. It's spring break.
Well, do you know why she's coming?
No, I don't.
Look at Dorothy's nose grow.
Oh, shut up.
He's her father. The Yutz has a right to know.
What does the Yutz have a right to know?
We're not sure, but... Good night, Mom.
Not tonight, Cece. I'm not in the mood anymore.
Be there, I have a right.
One sperm with a sense of direction, and I'm paying for it for the rest of my life. Come on.
Dorothy, I really want
Please, Dennis, I just want you to listen.
Goodbye again.
Bye, darling. Oh, Dorothy, I'm so glad things worked out.
Oh, me too.
Maybe you're not a grandmama yet, but you're still a darn good mama.
And Kate's gonna be a darn good mama, too, sometime.
This kills me. You try it.
No, I will not. And I don't think you ought to be talking to him like that either. He's practically your daughter's boyfriend.
What are you talking about? They hate each other. They fight all the time.
Very passionate fights. Oh, it has all the signs of a classic love-hate
Why
relationship.
don't you get a rubber hose and whack me around until I'm razor sharp?
Ma, I have a problem. I'm worried about tomorrow. I don't know whether or not I should go on that mission.
Dorothy, for 50 years you've come to me with all your problems. Who should I take to the prom? Where should I go to college? Do you think I should marry Stan? These were...
Please come up on stage!
Spina!
Please say you didn't do that.
Jeannie Taylor!
Please tell me you didn't.
Dorothy Sporda!
Come in.
Just listen. We are throwing a surprise birthday party for Blanche. I want you to go out to the lanai and mingle with the other guests.
Check. What's a lanai?
March!
You sold cigarettes. You brought cancer to people.
No matter what you think, George, I'm going to try to get work in the entertainment business, but that's not all. That's just my part. You've got a part, too. You've got to be here more.
Well, you never complained before.
The kids were here. I didn't notice. But, George, time
Over and snuggle up against him in bed.
I never went to bed with Alvin. The thought never crossed my mind, which is odd because I've always wondered about that myth.
There's a myth about people named Alvin?
The myth about black
door into ladies petite and says, excuse me, miss, but I notice you've been having a hard time deciding between the turquoise strapless and the flaming red backless. Well, personally, I would like to see you in the backless. And I said, when? And he said, how about Saturday night? And I said, how about in your dreams, sleazo?
No.
It was a nice couple of months. I'll miss him. Think he'll remember me?
I don't know.
I'll remember him. I finished the scarf, you know.
Oh, great. Listen, next time we go
Favor, I want to get a part-time job, and I was wondering if you could watch the kids 2 days a week.
Stan lost his job. I told you that Yutz is a deadbeat.
Stan did not lose his job.
His job he could afford to lose, a novelty salesman. The novelty would be if he made a sale.
Don't listen to
I will never forget the look on your face when Dorothy and I tangled onto the floor.
And I will never forget the look on your faces when you were disqualified and I won the $1,000.
And it was so sporting of you to share your...
I guess I'm just being silly. Okay, go ahead and fire her, Dorothy.
Why should I be the one to fire her?
You're the meanest.
Blanche, that's not true. Dorothy just looks the meanest. We hired Marguerite together,
I start to cook. A few hours later, he comes back. He says he couldn't find a cab. We eat in silence. Halfway through, I look up, and he's got tears in his eyes. He tells me, this meal is like our marriage. The veal is like him, tough and stubborn.
You have a very beautiful country, and I have enjoyed my stay here. When it comes down to it, your lives aren't really that different than ours, except for your toilet paper. No wonder you people always look so grouchy.
Oh, I'm fine. I just had a dream. We were all in Moscow. It was snowing and we were all wearing fake furs. I guess I'm just nervous about that press conference tomorrow. I've never had a press conference before. The idea of all those reporters coming to the house.
Yeah, there's Charlie Thompson and Fred Leone and Mike Devlin.
Does he plan to withdraw from the race?
I had lunch at the press club once.
Only once? Gosh, it took me 2 years to learn everybody's name on 8 is enough.
Hush, hush, it's about to start.
Wife, Anna Maria Bonaducci.
I can't believe it.
What do you say about my hunches now, Dorothy? 5 more minutes, I would have had it.
Ma, how could you know? No.
It's a sin, it's a crime, and let's face it, Dorothy, lately you can't give it away.
Ma, I'm talking about selling some of my belongings. I called a couple of pawn shops and I'm going to check them out tomorrow.
Listen, I'm wonderful at bargaining. I'll go.
Okay, I want to see 6 hands above that blanket right now.
The only reason we're in bed with Dorothy is we're scared.
Scared of what?
Now, Dorothy, don't you laugh, but we're scared of the aliens.
Blanche, how many times have I told you not to?
Jeremy. Well, nice to meet you, Jeremy.
It's a pleasure to meet you,
Let's
too.
come in, sit down.
Thank you. Oh, you have a lovely home here.
Thank you. You seem like a very nice young man.
Oh, he is a very nice young man.
Becky, was she talking to you?
I'm sorry.
Hors d'oeuvres are now being
Oh,
served.
Jeremy, I want you to meet my mother's friends. This is Dorothy, Sophia.
3 different suitors beg her to stay, but she can't decide who to choose, so she chooses none of them. But she agrees to meet with them at the same resort many years later. To her trio of suitors, that eventful gathering was referred to as Rendezvous with Sophia.
Makes with you.
Because you have different interests. Now, is it too much to ask of my best friends that they respect my right to have different interests and different people in my life?
I guess not.
Oh, thank you. And I promise we'll do something together real soon, okay?
Mary, I know if I had a problem, I'd want to confide in someone like me.
Well, ever since we became friends, there has been a great deal of tension between Blanche and Rose and me.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to infringe on your friendship.
Oh, no, it's not your fault. The problem is they feel left out. Blanche, wake up. People are looking at you.
What? Oh, I'm sorry. I think I was having an erotic dream.
You know, your father used to do a thing with feathers when we were first married. But he was too lazy.
You know, for 2 cents.
You could get a better toupee?
Okay, that's it. I've had enough. I'm not going on with this anymore.
Angela, look! St. Francis of Assisi!
Irreplaceable, you.
Dorothy, I just had a terrible nightmare.
Oh, what was it?
This. Wake it up. Stanley, think of me as the Berlin Wall. Try to climb over me, and you'll know what Bob...
We're not meant to live together.
I hate to agree with you, but I think you're right.
I think so, too. In fact, I know so. This is exactly what happened during the Great Herring War.
The Great Herring War?
Yes, between...
Time worrying about my mother and frolicking gaily on sandy white beaches.
Dancing cheek to cheek under starry skies.
And sharing romantic interludes to the sound of the pounding waves. Oh, God, I hate that wretched old woman.
You do that sometimes, Dorothy. After you've had a Denver omelet.
Now, you know, this is a real invasion of Rose's privacy. And it's a Spanish omelet.
Doesn't it bother you?
Not if I take a little jet. Now, what does this have to do with the diary?
Suddenly I'm on Nightline. Are we just trying to tell a story here?
There's no point, Sophia. They've done something terrible, and I'll never be able to forgive them.
Rose, isn't there anything we can do?
No, absolutely not. I'm unyielding on this.
Rose, can't you think of anything that'll make us still be friends?
No, this time you've crossed the line.
What in hell are you doing? It is 2 a.m.
Well, I couldn't sleep, so I decided to get up and make a batch of spare rib and Krispies. It's an ancient Scandinavian midnight snack.
I guess Dorothea.
I think I may have accidentally promised your hand in marriage.
Dorothea.
Well, at least he's Italian.
Find out why, while you boys and girls watch another very special adventure of Ricky the Flying Turtle. See you in a few minutes. Clear! Freddie, it's been 16 years. When are you going to learn?
Tuesday, it's Mr. Policeman. Thursday, it's Mr. Man.
I'm leaving. I'm not about to mourn a man who's been with every woman in this room.
He was never with me.
I guess even he had his standards.
Hold it. Stay where you are. Father, if you don't mind my saying so, I think you lost control of the room.
I can hear her saying, "Come on, you snot-nosed little rugrats. Pick up those jacks, they're puncturing holes in my tires." But the most amazing thing about Grandma was that in 1952, she decided to go into politics.
Politics?
Orphanage, taking in the homeless, running them soup kitchens.
Emma did all that. Oh, she's a saint. How did I ever beat her?
Rose, there's something we have to tell you. You see, what Blanche and I did was, well...
Rose, what Dorothy's trying to say is that we just...
There must be a support group for people like me.
We're sorry, Dorothy, but the bylaws clearly state that any derogatory remarks about the king are grounds for immediate expulsion.
Maybe you ought to join an organization that is a little less fanatical in its at stake. To find that jacket and get that ticket, we will lie, cheat, threaten, and steal if we have to.
Oh, hello.
Anybody got a backup plan?
I'm sorry, I didn't know anyone was out here. I was just locking up.
Father, we desperately need your help.
Well, frankly, I'm not sure we have enough empty beds, but you're welcome to stay.
Mildred, what are you doing here?
When do I always wear my lucky bowling hat?
We're bowling tonight?
Didn't you get my message the other night? No one answered the door. I figured you were napping, so I yelled outside your window we had room.
Well, let's go to dinner, ladies.
Have fun.
Rose, honey, there's something I have to say to you. Oh, goodness, no, of course I knew that. I'm not blind. Not that there's anything wrong in that. Of course, there's nothing so good about it either. Could we just go?
Great. What restaurant are we headed to?
Oh, Harvey's at the shore. Do you know it?
No, I don't.
Oh, you'll love it. It has a gorgeous view.
One thing out. While I was giving Sonny the evil eye, I noticed he was kind of cute. So I decided to work in a little kiss of death, too. Well, that livened him up, and we spent a very pleasant afternoon.
Ma, you are incredible.
Those were Sonny's words.
It is St. Valentine's Day, after all. You can pour both of them. I'm not expecting anybody.
It is St. Valentine's Day, lady, not St. Patrick's Day.
Oh, I'm not going to drink them both. I'm just celebrating. My husband proposed to me in this very bar on St. Valentine's Day. And after that, we sort of made it a tradition and came back every year. So, since he passed away...
I have an idea.
Oh, yeah? What do you want me to do?
Fall down.
What?
They want you to take a dive.
It wouldn't be a dive, exactly.
Just protect your hands by not using them.
If you get knocked out, you get knocked out.
I can't do that. It's immoral.
Immoral? What's so moral about two guys standing up in the ring beating each other?
Do we not die?
Brilliant! Absolutely brilliant! That was the finest audition for the acting school that we've seen all week. Congratulations.
I'm so glad Pepe has the opportunity to be an actor.
Why? When was the last time...
I want you to meet my husband, Jack.
You didn't tell me you had such a handsome husband.
Didn't tell you he was rich either.
That's my Trudy. Oh, you haven't lost your sense of humor. Or those pesky 10 pounds.
Mrs. Petrillo, is that you?
No, it's Jane Fonda.
She hasn't seen me in years. I can't wait to see the look on her face.
You could wait 6 months, it wouldn't change.
It's been almost 2 hours. We can't keep up this charade. Somebody has got to go in there and get Dorothy to come out and break the news.
But she's so fragile right now, we have to be...
And could spend all his days happy, whittling away, because his family was there for him. I will never forget that look on his face. He was happier than a Kentucky yearling, a frolicking in bluegrass, as high as a hoot owl's perch on the top of a spring
In
blossom.
English, Jethro, in English.
He was happy.
Toys when no one was looking. When I come to pick you up, I figure you're going to say you never want to go to school again. But what do you tell me? You love it. You made a new friend named Debbie.
Ma, what the hell does this have to do with...
Wait a minute. How did you know what happened? I mean, if the...
Blanche, you're not dressed for class.
That's because I'm not going.
Why not?
Why not? I will tell you why not. Because I cannot flounce around a dance floor like some cheap, trashy slut in heat.
Dorothea, I am so sorry we put you through all this. You would have made a wonderful daughter. But then you already have for your mother, Sophia. Arrivederci. Ciao, ciao.
Wally. Oh, you mean at the actual dance marathon?
That's right. Seems to me I showed you two guys a thing or two that night.
Ladies and gentlemen, our charity dance marathon is now entering its 7th hour. Let's give our contestants a great...
We've never met.
Admit it, you have grown.
Rose, could you introduce Blanche and me?
Oh, of course. Dorothy, this is Blanche. Blanche, this is Dorothy. We have jokes like that around here all the time.
It's like living in a house full of Howie
Magnificent. I fear you're not making any sense.
Excuse me, Mrs. Kierkegaard, it's 4 a.m.
Ma, is there a point to this?
And if there wasn't, what are you going to do? Put decorative bars on my window? Yes, there is a point. If you're going to sell real estate, make sure you own it.
Sophia, I do own it.
Maybe it's not the flu. Flu doesn't last that long.
You ought to go back to Dr. Raymond.
I did, Blanche. He said I'm fine.
Get a second opinion.
She did. She went to Dr. Schlesinger.
Well, then, you are fine. Now, you want to hear my idea?
She is not fine, Blanche. Look at her.
I didn't say she looks fine.
Honey, you're getting sicker and sicker.
Just like my heroin, sicker and sicker. Though, of course, my heroine doesn't look like you. This is a romantic novel, not science fiction.
Remind me when I feel better to kick the crap out of her.
And don't...
I thought, Mama, that we could go down there, and once you see these places are legitimate, you won't be so upset.
I don't want to go to a place like that. It's too embarrassing. What if one of the neighbors saw me going in? What would they think?
And even if people aren't listening.
He should have taken you with him.
Anyway, after he was fired, he worked for an iron company. He sold other things, but horseshoes were his specialty. He had a sense of humor about it. We couldn't pass a horse without Charlie saying, "Can I show you something?"
Ma, could you narrow that down a bit?
But what's his name on TV, on the news? The one who glues his head to the ceiling.
Oh, I think she means that consumer reporter on Channel 8, Enrique Mas.
That's the guy.
Hey, that's not such a bad idea. He helps a lot of people. Well, I believe he must be the best.
I'm here on an age discrimination case, and you're telling me I'm too old?
Oh, it is not me. It is Enrique Mas.
I'm confused.
Please, let me explain. You see, there are two me's. There is Enrique Mas, the dedicated consumer advocate fighting...
Fake.
I'm not a fake. Mrs. Nyland, ever since I was a little boy, I wanted to be on TV. Do you know what that's like for a Hispanic kid? Who were my role models? Zorro and Ricky Ricardo. A gay caballero and a man who couldn't recognize his own wife in a fake mustache.
Hi, sweetheart.
You are driving the Lincoln tonight, aren't you?
Sure. Oh, two things. We're doubling with Phil and Nancy tonight. Two things you have to remember. Call them little people. And they hate to be patted on the head. I found out
Dorothy, do you think this looks alluring and yet nurse-like?
I don't know, Blanche. Maybe the earrings put it over the top.
Oh, no, I did that for the baby. They love shiny things. Listen, maybe you two ought to...
Match your shoes. Oh, Harry, thanks so much for coming.
Frank, talk to me. What's going on here?
Well, he isn't feeling very well, so we thought we'd have you over for a drink.
You see that, Mom? You kill someone, you end up being a Rose story. Is this what you want?
Dorothy, I'll worry about me later. I gotta do this.
It was our pleasure, Jamie.
See y'all.
Blanche, I love the girls, but they don't seem as old as you said.
It's the lighting.
Charming man.
And so handsome. Oh, as they say in St. Aug, you're trying a little too hard.
Oh, I don't. No, Rose, I admire you. When you want something to happen, you go for it. Me, I dream.
Are you back on that showbiz kick again?
Oh, yeah, Ma. You know, I was always pretty good at it, even way back in high school. Ma, do you remember those variety shows that my class used to put on? I was really very good.
Hacienda Hut. I thought I showed the kid the town, give him some quality time. Maybe it'll make up for never teaching him how to ride a bicycle.
Stanley, how come I've never seen you at the Hacienda Hut?
I never have to stay long. I'm a chick magnet. That's why they call me Mr. Lucky.
You mean for 38 years?
Oh, fine. Hey, you don't have a thing to worry about. You won't even have to think about Blanche. Because if you're going to be at that funeral, I refuse to go.
Not that uncommon.
Really?
Well, you'd be surprised how many people are only 2 or 3 paychecks away from being out on the street. The suddenly poor are all around us. And once you've been knocked down like that, it's very hard to recover.
What's going to happen to all these people?
I don't know. There's no affordable housing, the rents keep going up, and the minimum wage has been held down.
Seems so.
Do you really want to abandon her?
Father was the only one.
Well, she finally left, didn't she, Sophia?
Yeah, I'll never forget that day. Your father stayed home from work. Unfortunately, I couldn't get the day off. I don't know what he did, but he was happy when I got home.
Since Charlie was a traveling salesman, sometimes I'd be alone.
Try to discuss science with kids.
I want to thank you for a lovely evening.
Now look, Rose...
Wait, what about the dress Jamie Farr promised us from MASH?
No, it hasn't come yet.
But he promised.
Honey, we have a lot of other stuff. It's okay.
No, it's not. He let you down. Well, I'm not surprised. You couldn't trust Klinger on guard duty, and you can't trust him now.
Rose, take it easy.
Oh, I'm the one who's supposed to take it easy.
Magda, there are 2 books that I want you to read. The first one is Thomas Paine's Common Sense. I think it'll give you some idea of what freedom is all about. And the second is Vanna White's autobiography.
Why should I thank you so much for your help, sister?
Go with God.
Sophia, I just don't know.
Oh, come on. Dorothy's bank is right over there. She lets me draw on her account. If he's honest enough to put up his money, we should be willing to do the same.
I guess it seems fair. Okay.
Great. Let's go.
It seems so strange not meeting you in a hotel room. I guess I shouldn't steal the towels.
Ooh, towels. Yeah, I got to put that on my shopping list. Right next to soap and broad with job. I've missed you, Dorothy.
look out for you.
I just hope the band doesn't play the St. Olaf Wedding March.
I think the chances of their playing that are pretty slim.
Well, I don't know. It got awfully popular after Laurel and Hardy started using it as their theme song.
We're gonna have to keep an eye on her.
Dorothy looks very happy, doesn't she, Sophia? My name is Rose, and I'm an idiot.
Blanche, you finally dressed.
Yeah, I went back to work. Good for you. And you know what I found out? The reason Donald rejected me was he has this strict personal rule against getting involved with anybody he's working with.
Go out with.
Dorothy, I need someone who's classy, someone who can handle the rich and powerful, someone not too obviously sexy.
Why don't you ask Merv Griffin?
Dorothy, look, I called every woman.
Jimmy, open the door.
Dorothy, I'm so glad you came.
Of course I came. This is a big day for you.
It is. I can't live like this anymore.
Oh, I am so happy.
I am too. Hey, let's celebrate. Party time. The answer, my...
That call, it was Viola Watkins. She used to be my mammy.
Your what?
My mammy. The woman who took care of me when I was little.
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't think I ever heard anyone called Mammy before.
What about Mrs. Eisenhower?
Oh, we're 2 times together.
You truly are a considerate, compassionate, understanding woman. A lovely woman. Delicate, innocent, enchanting.
Isn't it?
Do you think I would lie to get into the convent?
It does look a little like John Forsythe, doesn't it?
Look, sister, I'm sorry you made this trip for nothing, but this has gone far enough. Ma, I cannot believe that you actually want to go through with this.
Who cares what you believe? Look, I had a beautiful experience.
Blanche, you didn't hear me out.
I've heard all I have to hear.
Now, I know this is rough for you, but it's been rough for me, too. Now, you're going to listen. 9 years ago, I found out that my partner was embezzling from the family company. He was a clever man. All the signs pointed to me.
I got to hug him. You know how I always wake up before I get to hug George? This time I didn't.
Oh, Blanche, that's wonderful.
It was wonderful, Rose. When he died, I thought, oh, the worst part is I'll never get to hold him again. Tonight I did. I could actually feel him.
Sea of tranquility, come to Mama, lunar module, you're out of here! Yeah! That's it! Yes!
It's just a puzzle, Dorothy. You didn't make this much noise on your wedding night.
Don't push it, Rose.
Well, I have everything I need for the fishing trip. Plenty of suntan lotion and a string bikini. I don't want the fish to be the only things nibbling. Oh, well, considering what you've been through, go ahead, Rose.
She took a vacation to Mexico, and she found this poor, scrawny, helpless little Chihuahua puppy on the street, and she brought it home to St. Olaf with her, and she nursed it back to health.
Right now, let's see. You got something borrowed, something blue, something new. You need something old. Old enough?
Oh, Ma. Oh, Ma.
My little girl is getting married.
Oh, Ma.
Oh, perfect. I know my every move.
Look, these people are up way too late. This party's over. Everybody back to bed. Let's go.
I danced tonight. First time in 25 years.
Mr. Lewis, you can speak. How come you haven't spoken before?
No one was listening. Not until you got here.
I've been here. Could have spoken.
And beautiful and special. When we're together, we laugh a lot.
Why wouldn't you? You're both naked.
There's more to Mel and me than just the physical, Sophia. We share things.
I took all kinds of precautions. I even switched buggies on the way over. Rose, of course, you can't tell a soul who I am.
Oh, don't worry. Your secret is safe with me.
I don't know what I'm gonna do. Boy, you find out you're a Jew with a dilemma and these rabbis just come out of the woodwork.
Well, I sent Carl home. Now I just have to talk to Miles.
Talk to Miles. You seeing somebody else, Rose?
I can explain.
No, I understand. Oh, Rose, of course, you're dating. That's why I've come to a decision. I'm going to go to Washington. I'm going to talk to the Bureau. I am leaving the Witness Protection Program. No, I just know I need...
It's a family curse, this obsession with women. The men in our family are weak. Why could they all be more like Cousin Anthony?
Oh, Ma, Cousin Anthony had an obsession with men in cowboy hats who hung around Times Square.
What am I going to do?
You're going to trust in your family because family is...
I know my mother.
Oh, really? You're the one who said she wasn't gonna leave in the first place. You know, Dorothy, it's not just your mother who left. I feel like she's my mother, too.
I know, honey, but don't worry. She'll be back.
Now that she's gone, who am I gonna go to in the middle of the night with my deepest personal problems?
Wait a minute.
Ensure that she would win the job as his assistant. Then she got the other key to the room from that woman there. She rushed up to the room. She tore off her clothes.
That's Velcro. It just gives the illusion of a tear.
She flung her dress on the bed. She slipped into a negligee and a...
Hey, man, Steve is leaving me.
For another woman?
Oh, don't be ridiculous. He's leaving me for Tokyo.
Oh, sweetheart, I'm sorry.
What's going on?
Oh, Stevie's leaving Blanche for Tokyo, Rose.
Shouldn't. His cross-country skiing machine is in the shop.
Yes, he should. He gets plenty, and I mean plenty of exercise with me.
Checkmate. Hand the guy a fork.
Well, maybe I shouldn't, Blanche. I mean, this darn girdle is tight enough as it is.
Oh, I finally have you all to myself. Why don't I fix us some drinks, huh?
Actually, I don't drink.
Oh, then I know what'll loosen us up. We can play a game with my naughty cards from Denmark. Aces are high and I'm wild.
Well, I really don't gamble either.
Ma, we got something really important to tell you.
It can wait. Dorothy, you remember Myron, don't you?
Listen, Ma, we gotta talk now.
Don't be rude, Dorothy. We have a guest. Don't you have something to say, Myron?
Dorothy, I was wondering if you would do me the honor of going out with me tomorrow night.
Well, what do you say, Dorothy? Same cup?
Stanley, go into the kitchen. I want to talk to Ma in private. I'm sorry, Ma. I know I've disappointed you.
How could you let this happen, Dorothy? How could you throw everything away for an hour's worth of passion?
I don't know. It just sort of... What do you mean an hour?
Blanche, I have to talk to you. And for the life of me, I can't imagine why so many people have abandoned it.
Boy, neither can I.
But if you just want to be friends.
No. I mean, can we try again? Maybe start over?
I think I'd like that. Well,
I wonder, would there be any chance you'd consider Jake's coming to live with you?
Well, if he's too much trouble. Are you sure?
Oh, I'm sure. I mean, you'd be doing me a favor. Thank you, Mr. Hubbard.
Rose, thank you.
Pentecost, please, somebody stop the bleeding.
Pussycat, Leave a few scraps for the other two nudniks. You never know when I might need a good neurosurgeon.
These people are not nudniks. They are brilliant, accomplished scientists, and I'm wiping the floor with them.
Uh-oh.
What?
The assistant DA Peterson. He's a killer. It's amazing what he does to the witnesses. You think he's getting nowhere, and then suddenly he gives the witness a really dumb compliment, and for some reason it works. They let down their guard and he nails them.
Well, you must have some...
In your own words, Mrs. Petrillo, the words of a beautiful, dignified person who's got a wild bod for a chick her age. What kind of person is your daughter?
She put me in a home.
I had no idea.
All right, the truth is, I'm jealous of you. Oh, God, that leaves a bad taste in my mouth.
Blanche, what are you talking about?
Dorothy, the one thing in my life I've always been assured of is being the center of attention. Oh, I knew I never... Oh, my gosh. My Grammy's necklace is gone. I'll bet it slipped off when I was showing Derek the view.
Blanche, we don't have a view.
Speak for yourself. Oh, Miles, I'm looking for Derek. He's about yay tall, has a mustache.
Ditch Becker. And I knew where you were ditching every time, too, at the arcade. Wasting hour after hour, day after day, playing those senseless pinball machines. Boy, look at you now. Tell me, what business are you in?
Video games. I've made